Hello everybody, welcome back. It's G here. So I had this great idea. I wanted to share that I am starting my first short-term rental, quote unquote, Airbnb here in Italy. And I wanted to, well, my plan was to kind of show you guys some of the transformation of setting it up. But I also thought, you know what? It might be a good time to talk about renting apartments in Italy, being a landlord, and going through this process. So subscribe to my channel, and I am going to give you some insights into, man, living in Italy is not for the weak. And renting an apartment here is a lot. Being a landlord is a lot. So subscribe and let me tell you about my experience renting, landlording, and now setting up my Airbnb. Okay, so it's been a while since I've kind of talked about, my short-term rental business. If you guys have been watching me for a while, I have talked about how I earn income managing short-term rentals abroad. And I had actually been looking for opportunities to do something here. I wanted to partner with some owners, and I can tell you right now, it was a lot to even consider. But man, let me tell you, renting an apartment in Italy is no joke. Is nothing like you expect in the US. And you spend a whole lot of money, a whole lot of time, and you have so many challenges. So let me tell you, so this apartment, check it out. This is where my Airbnb is going to be. Nice little outdoor space. Those are recycling bags on the couch out there. So this is the kitchen. We just kind of refreshed some things. That's like my bags I'm going to take with me. Don't worry, they won't be here. Cute little dining area. So this apartment is actually where me and my husband started. This is where we lived, where I came to live with him when we first met. So y'all, after we had our first kid, it became obviously too small. It's a 1-bedroom. Italians don't do like Americans do and get bigger space for the potential of something. Which is, I think, what we do a lot in America. So when we had our first baby, we stayed here for a little while, but obviously we outgrew it. And we moved to a bigger place. Now, moving. Oh, guys, when you want to live in Italy, it's a lot of work, not just for us foreigners, but especially for us foreigners. Looking for an apartment in Italy, you think if you're from the US, you find a place, you see the listing, you go see it, you qualify, you get it, right? No. I will equate looking and renting an apartment here, probably like New York, where it's super competitive, super expensive, and you're kind of like in this dog-eat-dog experience. Now, generally, what you end up having to do is get an agent. And you think, oh, great, that's helpful. It is not. The agents are kind of useless. It's a job that they get paid a commission to really just have the properties, right? They have the listings. So owners, which I don't understand any of this, right? So owners will pay the agent. And in the States, from all the experiences I've had, being an owner as well as a renter at points in my time, when you hire an agent as an owner, you pay maybe your first month's rent, that's their fee. And the rentee, the renter, they don't really pay anything. In Italy, it's different. Both pay. So the owner has to pay the agency as well as the renter. And this can be extreme. Like it can be a percentage of the annual rent, so like 5 to 20%, depending on the agency. So they get that double. You don't get that money back. You don't get that money back as the renter or the owner. So that's just a fee that you pay. And you think, okay, I'm paying this fee because it's going to help me be safer. They're going to find you good tenants. No, they are not going to find you any better tenants than you could find on your own. Now, they're supposed to, like in the US, you do credit checks, you do background checks, you call the old landlords. So we rented this place, y'all, to this guy, and he was a foreigner. Now that's a whole nother thing. A lot of times, even when you have an agency, they will say, do you want to rent to foreigners? And you're like, what a racist thing to ask me. But now I understand why. So we had a guy here, he was a foreigner, and basically, because Italy has no protections for the landlords whatsoever, if you rent to somebody and they stop paying rent, you're screwed. You can't really evict them like you can in the US. You know, it's a process that takes ages. The contracts or leases here are for 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. I've never, ever heard of such a ridiculous thing. So the thing of it is that contract binds you and them in the apartment, and they stop paying rent. So what? Now, if they're foreigners, it's even worse because you have really no recourse. So you can go to court, you can file a thing, and say, for example, they're not working. Once they get a job again in Italy, that money will be garnished from their wages. However, as a foreigner, they could go back to their country and that's it. They could stay in the apartment because they have the contract. There's no protection. You can't get them out. And if you do like manage to get through this process to get them out, that can take years as well. Like, it's not like in the States where they come and take your stuff, put it on the sidewalk and be like, you didn't pay, goodbye. Especially if they have kids or someone's pregnant, right? Like, that even gives them more ability to stay into. And I'm not telling y'all to move to Italy, get pregnant, have babies, and like squat in somebody's house because that's awful. So this guy owes us tens of thousands of dollars because he decided not to pay. And it was before COVID. So he ended up with COVID protections, no protections for us. So it's actually been pretty stressful to deal with. And looking for apartment, even for us, because I'm a foreigner, was complicated and difficult to find someone who's willing to rent to us because of me. And so there's so much stuff. So being a landlord is very, very dangerous here because Italy doesn't give a damn about you as an owner. They figure you're owner. If you still owe a mortgage or something like that on your apartment, they don't say, oh, you have this contract, this guy's not paying. Yeah, you filed with Italian taxes and all that sort of stuff. And they just go, you're still responsible. So even though we're not going to get him out, even though we're not going to do anything to help you recoup the money you've lost, or be able to re-rent your place before this 4-year contract is up. And if you do go through the court process and pay, a lawyer thousands of dollars, it still can be years before we actually get that person out. Like the first time they come, apparently they make a suggestion. Could you please leave? You haven't paid rent. Come on, let's go. And the person could say, oh, you know what? I'll think about it. They'll come back months later, okay, and suggest again. So like this process could go on for a little while. And so this could lead to another year or two before the person actually gets officially put out. So this guy actually left. So we did go through a court process, and he left in an effort to not pay us the money that he owes. And he went back to his home country. Lucky him. But now I'm setting up my first Airbnb here in Italy. Now, I have been working on trying to do this And it was my suggestion to my husband before we rented to this guy, and definitely not do a 4-year contract. There were so many other things that I thought would have been better. But men, they want to lead. So, but you know what? It's neither here nor there. He decided he thought this would be a better choice to have a consistent renter. And of course, this guy screwed us. But now we're trying to see if we set this up as Airbnb, what the outcome might be. And I have been here by myself, as well as my oldest son helping. So you can see some of the transformation from what was here. We did a few little things, little tricks and things like that to save ourselves some money, because you know, as you're doing this, you can always come back and invest more, do more things, try and set things up differently, upgrade, if you will, like the furniture, the fixtures, whatever. You can do that over time. But just to get things started, you can do things kind of, you know, economically and make it cute and pretty nonetheless. So I think it's pretty cute. I think we did a good job. So I'm looking forward. We're gonna have our first guest in days, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing this. There's still some challenges that I have to overcome. I still haven't found a cleaner, so I'm going to be doing the cleaning myself, and I still have a few details that I'm working out. But I think that ultimately we are making a somewhat safer choice, because honestly, being a landlord here, I wouldn't want to do it traditionally. The 4-year contracts can seem seemingly like a good idea, like, oh yeah, I got a renter for 4 years. But ultimately, if that person screws you, then you're screwed too. So I think that we've learned a lot, man. Looking for apartments here is a challenge. I think that's why people end up staying in one place for a really long time, because I mean, just to move, I think we paid, I don't even want to say how much, because we had to pay a percentage of the rent, right, to the agency. We also had to put 3 months deposit and, you know, move. So it's almost impossible for people, because if you think about it, the average salary, the minimum wage here is between 12 and 1,400 euros a month. The average apartment is over 1,000. It's, you know, if you think about having to do these things, it's like you wonder why people double up, have like several roommates, and are adults sleeping in bunk beds somewhere, because the cost of living and the wages also don't align here in a lot of instances. So it's a lot of stress, you know. But I hope you guys enjoyed that little chat, moving to Italy. If you have questions about this whole process, I'm going to, so I did mention that I have been trying to do, you know, Airbnb here, partner with some owners, look for ways that I've been doing things in the US here. And y'all, the owners here are also scam artists. So I contacted a few people, a few listings that was like, you know, rent by owner, like people trying to get around the agency fees, and, you know, made my proposals and everything. And these owners would just be like, oh, well, you know, another agency contacted me and they guaranteed me 3,000 euros a month. And I'm like, no, they didn't. And so, I mean, I guess it's possible, but no, they didn't. And I found so many instances of owners also not wanting to partner and trying to screw you just in the most immediate way. So, I mean, I guess it goes hand in hand, like a circle, you know, it all just works out some kind of way. Luckily, we found a good place to live. You guys seen our apartment, well, parts of it. And we've been, you know, we're recovering. So that's one of like the things, like, you know, people talk about so many aspects of life, but you know, this past few years with this guy in our apartment here, and you know, renting where we are, and you know, having to cover lots of extra bills that we didn't plan on, has been definitely stressful, and something, you know, a challenge that we've faced in our relationship. So, but now we're on to a new chapter. And I want to thank you guys for watching this quick video. I hope it was like informative, helpful, thoughtful. If you guys have questions about renting apartments in Italy, I'm going to be trying to post more videos about like living things here in addition to my other observations. So subscribe to the channel, guys. And I know I've been a little off the past few weeks because I have been working, setting up this apartment, the kids, just life. I need some mental space, and I'm working on that too. So guys, subscribe, and I guess we'll talk soon. Meet me in the comments, and ciao, ciao for now.